above the fold, the things that are above the fold, either on the website or on your cell phone, are your background image, your professional headline, and your summary section. I mean, there's your name and your contact information, all that too, but the three branding elements are those three things. So your background image, obviously, if you've got a website, you want it to reflect the website. It's not static. It's not a one and done. So if you've got a property that you're focusing on at this time to get investors, you could actually put an image like, similar to what I have here. If you've got a website, you want to pull that branding in. If you've got a logo, you want to pull that branding in. You might even want to put some contact information up there, a tagline, etc. So that's number one. You can have your marketing department do it. They can, whip that puppy up, or a couple different options. And then it's just a matter of literally taking 1 minute and uploading it to your profile, or having your assistant do that. But that alone is going to be a huge piece of branding that will immediately make your profile more relevant. Now, if you've got accreditations, if you've got certifications, you can put those icons on there as well. So any kind of accreditation, kudos, anything like that you have, that you can add an image to your background image, that's something to do. Now, the second thing is underneath your name, it says professional headline. LinkedIn suggests you put your title. That's baloney. You need to let people know what you do and how you serve them. So helping new real estate investors access great properties affordably. That tells me, as your potential investor, your potential buyer, that I should keep reading. I should keep reading your profile. And so then I'll drop down to your summary section. Oh, by the way, that little professional headline, it's 120 characters, not words, characters. So it's really tight. It really is no longer than what I said. But I want them to keep reading. So I want them to drop down just a little bit to where I see, the summary section, which is actually 2,000 characters. And now I can explain a little bit more. Points of pain. You're scared to invest in real estate. There's a lot of scams out there. What if I told you you could invest as little as $500, get into the investment game, and up level your portfolio? Here's what we do, blah, 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 blah. And then I would, in the media section, which is part of that, I would actually upload any media that would support that investment. Maybe you've got a PDF of your portfolio and how it's doing this instead of this, right? How it's going up instead of plummeting down. Right. Maybe you've got a checklist for new real estate investors. Maybe you have a graph that shows, here's what a $500 investment will look like, and here's what a $500,000 investment will look like. The nice thing about going to lunch with a potential investor is that someone has likely introduced you, right? Someone has referred you or introduced you. So you don't have to prove you are who you say you are. You've built that trust. All things being equal, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's Bob Berg quote. So they already have some level of trust because someone they know, like, and trust has introduced them to you, or you to them. On social media, we don't have that. We have to build that know, like, and trust. And that means building credibility from the onset, above the fold. And the ways of doing that, of course, is, as I mentioned, show those accreditations, show media and materials that prove that you're legit. And then finally, it doesn't have to be your private cell phone number, but give people a way to access you or your website by either sharing links to your website, or sharing a 1-800 number, or sharing an info@yourcompany.com. Make it easy, if people have questions, to ask those questions. And yes, I'm talking about your personal profile, not your company page. You can have a company page too. They're fine. You need them as well. But the nice thing about company pages, you can build one in like under an hour, and then you just have to post really good content to it, once a week, twice a week. I mean, it's better if you do it daily, but once a week, twice a week, to keep it kind of alive. But these are your personal profiles, because as a business owner, you are representing your company. Or if you're doing marketing for that company, as a marketer, you're representing that company. Or if you're doing lead generation for that company, as a salesperson, you're representing that company. Your secretary should have a stellar LinkedIn profile, because if she happens to show up in a search, or he happens to show up in a search, he's representing your company. And so it's really important that you have not only your brand created on LinkedIn, but you create a template for the rest of your employees, whether they're customer facing or not. But the more people in your company that are representing your company on LinkedIn, the more legit you look.